Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. I apologize. I haven't posted for 2 weeks, and my other channel had problems, so I've been working with that, but I'm back. Thank you for your support, and thank you for going on this journey through our past and present. And today I want to talk about geniuses that you never heard of before. Now, everybody is willing to give Black Americans credit for having superior athletic ability and superior musical ability. But there are other abilities that are hidden that we have superiority in that gets covered up and it gets filed under the heading of American without adding the Black part to it. So today I'm going to talk about three geniuses that you never heard of who have had a global impact on American science and discovery. So listen to this.
These are three black geniuses you were never taught about. And the last one helped build the atomic bomb. Number 3, George Robert Carruthers, 1939 to 2020. Space physicist who built the ultraviolet camera astronauts set up on the moon during Apollo 16. His telescope captured Earth's auroras from the lunar surface and changed space science forever. NASA later renamed a mission after him. Number 2, Hubert Mack Thaxton, 1909 to 1974. The fourth black American to earn a PhD in physics and one of the hidden architects of America's early tech age. He produced breakthrough research on proton scattering, engineered some of the first color TV systems, designed radar and jet aircraft systems, and worked on atomic projects so classified most remain sealed to this day. Number 1, Maudie Daniel Taylor, 1912 to 1976. Valedictorian, recruited the moment he graduated in 1935 to teach chemistry. Earned his PhD at the University of Chicago, then joined the Manhattan Project, where his rare earth chemistry helped build the atomic bomb. Later, he became a powerhouse professor at Howard and wrote a chemistry textbook used nationwide. They hid their names. Say them out loud.
So, three geniuses that we've never heard of before. So let's break them down. Let's start with George Carruthers. George Robert Carruthers was born October 1st, 1939 in Cincinnati, Ohio. He was a space physicist and engineer, best known for inventing the ultraviolet camera used during the Apollo 16 mission, making him a key figure in space exploration history. So I did go to the co-pilot and asked, how did the ultraviolet camera invented by George Carruthers help space exploration? And the answer is, the ultraviolet camera, first deployed on the moon during Apollo 16 in 1972, revolutionized space exploration by allowing scientists to observe celestial phenomena invisible from Earth. It provided the first moon-based observatory, captured ultraviolet images of Earth's atmosphere, stars, and galaxies, and revealed new insights into the universe's structure and composition. Now, that's very important when you're looking at it from a scientific point of view. He opened up the universe and allowed scientists to see things that they had never seen before. And then scientists use this kind of information to make discoveries based on this man's invention, but they would tell what they discovered, but they won't tell you that this man invented the machine that allowed them to make those discoveries. So that's where the hypocrisy comes in. George Carruthers is widely celebrated as a trailblazer in ultraviolet astronomy and as one of the most influential American scientists in space research. President Obama awarded him with the National Medal of Technology and Innovation in 2011. Now, President Obama, for all that people criticize him, he was very good about digging up those black unsung heroes and giving them the recognition and the awards that they deserved. It doesn't appear that George Carruthers married. There is no public record of him ever having been married, but his invention was outstanding because we could say that his invention took him to the moon and back. He died on December 26, 2020 in Washington, D.C. at the age of 81. Rest in peace to this ancestor. The next genius that we never heard of is Hubert Mack Thaxton. There are no pictures of him. There's just one picture that I got from a video, and I'm not sure this is the correct image of him, but there are no pictures of him. I have looked, and there are no pictures. The caption here says, "The United States buried this Black physicist's legacy so deep that only one photo of him exists." So they hid this genius's accomplishments. That's what it comes down to. Hubert Mack Thaxton was a nuclear physicist, mathematician, and engineer, remembered as the fourth Black American to earn a PhD in physics in the United States. His pioneering work focused on proton scattering, a largely unexplored area at the time. So that's why they hid his legacy, because he explored something that they didn't even know about. So they had to hide him. He was born on March 20th, 1909 in Lynchburg, Virginia. He was the product of an HBCU, earning a BS degree in mathematics and physics from Howard University in 1931, and then earning a master's degree in mathematics and physics from Howard in 1933. He went on to the University of Wisconsin and earned another master's in 1936, and then in 1939, earning the PhD in physics from the University of Wisconsin. His groundbreaking thesis was scattering of protons by protons, and that was in 1938. In researching him, they keep making mention of the fact that he was Black American who studied these proton scattering, and it had never been done before. I was wondering, why do they keep making mention of the fact that he was Black? And then I realized he was born in 1909. That's about 44 years after slavery. They didn't think that a Black person would have the intelligence to do the work that he did. And researchers acknowledge this. What they say is what was outstanding about Hubert Mack Thaxton's scattering of protons was that he ventured into uncharted scientific territory, producing rigorous theoretical and experimental work that advanced nuclear physics at a time when the field was just emerging. His research not only deepened understanding of proton interactions, but also marked a historic achievement as one of the earliest Black American physicists to contribute at the highest levels of science. And we're talking about in the 1930s. He was contributing at the highest levels of science. Now, all of this proton scattering doesn't mean anything if I can't put it in everyday terms, telling how it has helped humanity. So that's what I did. How did he help humanity? So here we go. His research has contributed to the advancement of many areas of our lives, but I'm just going to stick to the ones that I can explain the easiest. His work contributed to the theoretical framework that makes controlled nuclear energy possible, a major source of low carbon electricity today. Now you get that. Contributed to electricity today. Now, nobody's going to teach us in school that this Black man, 44 years out of slavery, discovered proton scattering that contributes to low carbon electricity today and makes controlled nuclear energy possible. We have to find that out on our own. Now, this is a big one. Medical applications. Proton scattering research feeds directly into technologies like proton therapy, a cutting-edge cancer treatment that uses beams of protons to target tumors with precision. Without a deep understanding of proton interactions, such medical advances wouldn't be possible. So this proton scattering is really aiding in the treatment of cancer. Also, the work that Thaxton did with the scattering protons inspired new technologies that led to superconducting magnets and advanced imaging. Advanced imagings are these x-ray machines that hospitals use to diagnose disease when they're in a treatable stage, like the CAT scan, the PET scan, the MRI. This man's discovery of these scattering protons led to the development of these machines. And also Valerie Thomas, who is also a Black American inventor, worked on the further imaging of these technologies. So these are Black inventors who have done extremely important work in the field of science. Hubert Max Thaxton faced severe discrimination in employment opportunities, struggling to secure positions in private industry. We're not surprised by that. 44 years out of slavery, he was born, and he was brilliant, and he made discoveries that hadn't been made before. But as is always the case, somebody else wants to take credit for his work. Yet and still, despite the discrimination, his story is inspiring and sobering. He achieved remarkable scientific milestones, yet he was held back by racial prejudice. His perseverance paved the way for future generations of Black American physicists. He was married to Lydia Robinson, and he died on January 3rd, 1974, in New York City at the age of 64. And he is buried at Calvary Cemetery in Norfolk, Virginia. May he continue to rest in peace. And as a postscript, Hubert Thaxton was never formally recognized by a president for his accomplishments. Our last genius that you never heard of is Marty Daniel Taylor, a chemist who contributed to the Manhattan Project during World War II. He was not an inventor in the traditional sense, but his scientific work was crucial to the development of nuclear science and the atomic bomb. Wow. The Manhattan Project was the top secret U.S. government program during World War II that developed the world's first nuclear weapons. It ran from 1942 to 1946, involved thousands of scientists and engineers, and culminated in the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan in August of 1945. He worked on that project, but the result of creating this atomic bomb were all those, oh, my goodness. Wow. And I want to go back and emphasize this. It says his scientific work was crucial to the development of nuclear science and the atomic bomb. Wow, a Black man's work was crucial to the development of the atomic bomb. Wow. Not only that, he was born in 1912 in Nymph, Alabama, my home state. I had never heard of Nymph, Alabama before. So it is in South Alabama in Conecuh County. I'm familiar with Conecuh County because my mother was born in South Alabama, but I had never heard of Nymph. So it's probably just an unincorporated town in South Alabama. Anyway, he is also a product of HBCU, Lincoln University, where he received his BS degree in 1935 and then a master's degree and a PhD degree from the University of Chicago in chemistry. So he was a chemist more than an inventor, which is probably why he was dealing with those elements that led to the atomic bomb. Marty Taylor worked at the University of Chicago's Metallurgical Laboratory from 1943 to 1945. His research focused on the chemical properties of rare earth metals, which were vital in understanding materials used in nuclear reactions. His work directly supported the development of the atomic bomb, making him one of the few Black American scientists involved in the Manhattan Project. Now, they keep saying that his work was crucial, that his work directly supported the development of the atomic bomb. So here's a picture of the scientists and engineers who were involved in that project. And you see who's out front. Now, there are some Black ones buried there deep in the back. But if his work was that crucial, he ought to be on the front row too, right? He was awarded the Certificate of Merit Medal by Secretary of War Robert P. Patterson for his contributions to the Manhattan Project. After World War II, he taught at Lincoln University, his alma mater, and then at Howard University, where he became a respected professor of chemistry. His career combined scientific research, teaching, and mentorship, helping to open doors for future generations of Black scientists. Black scientists have really done their thing. They have made their mark. We just don't hear about them because they would rather talk about basketball and rap. Marty Daniel Taylor was married. His spouse was Vivian Ellis, and they had a son named Herbert Marty Taylor. His contribution to the Manhattan Project is his major contribution, his knowledge of rare earth elements and how they interact with each other, creating the atomic bomb. That's what he's best known for. But he did make a great contribution in that regard and added to the legacy of Black scientists and inventors in the United States. So America doesn't have a problem talking about the excellence of Black entertainers and athletes, but we also need to hear more about these people, these three inventors, and many, many more, and the contributions that they have made to this country and the world. Marty Daniel Taylor died on September 14th, 1976. We thank him for his genius and the contributions that he made to this country, especially his teaching career at Howard University. May he continue to rest in peace. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a good evening.